Good morning, everybody. It is Friday. Yesterday was an interesting day. Jay and I had medical appointments to see our new doctor, and between the two of us, it took, I don't know, close to an hour, maybe. I don't remember. I wasn't watching time. We both got our flu shots, which I haven't had one in a long time, so God knows what it's going to do to me. I don't know what all the possible symptoms of the aftermath of a flu shot. I just know that as the evening progressed, both Jerry Ann and I were getting sore, like our muscles and whatnot were physically aching and whatnot. So I don't know if that's just a side effect. I don't know. But we got to see the doctor. The doctor wants us to go get labs done, which is basically blood draw, as well as a few other tests that we have to do. But the place that we go to get our labs, our blood work and whatnot done, that is more inexpensive than going to like the regular lab at the clinic. Well, the funny thing about that is we were thinking, oh yeah, we'll go and do it. This is yesterday. So yesterday we were thinking we'd go and do it this morning. Now, we couldn't get an appointment to go in to get these lab results done until the 5th of October, which granted is not that far away, but that's like over a week. It's about a week or more. And I'm like, this is crazy. And this is just signs of our times that having blood drawn and whatnot takes that long or that far away because of an appointment, due to the fact that a lot of these labs, and we go to Quest Labs, just for your information, but a lot of these places are so indented or have such an overflow of needs or requests for blood drawn or blood testing due to COVID. Now, by the sounds of things, when we talk to the doctors, and I'd have to go out and get my paperwork and whatnot, but both me and Jerry Ann are getting prescribed various medications. Jerry's getting new and better medication for her diabetes. I'm getting medication for my cholesterol because I do have genetically high cholesterol, as well as a use when needed bronchial inhaler for my allergies, which, knock on wood, I haven't had to use in years, even though every so often, once in a blue moon, I do get a little winded. But it was interesting because on the paperwork, the end of the visit paperwork, which they give you all the information of what was discussed and your vitals. My vitals, my blood pressure was 155 over 104. Now, I wanted to say white coat syndrome, which is basically anybody who has nervous issues when seeing the doctor. We call it the white coat syndrome, but the doctor says no. This is the 155 might be white coat syndrome, but the 104 is because of your medical issues. And I do have a history of my family has a history of high blood pressure. So the doctor was like, I want you to, for 1 week, write down once a day, write down your blood pressure. We forgot to do it last night. That's on me. But the doctor was saying, if it does not go down in a week, we're going to put you on a blood pressure medication. Well, I was on Lipitor 7+ years ago for genetically high cholesterol, which is one of the things that we discovered in New York, that I have genetically high cholesterol. So, yay, at least we're doing this now. The doctor wanted to know what spurred this on, because we haven't seen a good doctor in 2 to 3 years. And it was like, well, I basically was like, for me, it was a combination of, I've outlived my father by 3 years. Most of my dad's side of the family has a history of family members dying young, basically, because my dad was 46 when he passed away. So that's one reason. The second reason was I'm getting up there in age, and I want to be a survivor. And third reason is just had my younger brother-in-law pass away from a pulmonary embolism, I think is what they called it. Something to do with blood clotting in the lungs. That's all I can remember. And for Jerry, she's 50. She's type 2 diabetic. She's overweight, and, the same thing for me. Her brother just passed away. So we were both kind of like, yeah, it's time to seriously take this stuff seriously and jump on it now. So, and they were telling me for somebody of my age, I should have started seriously trying to monitor this stuff earlier. And I was like, well, I turned 40 in New York, and we were watching it in New York because we had a better healthcare plan. And then when we came back here, things kind of fell to the side because of money and healthcare plans and just life. But no, hearing what the doctor had to say yesterday, it made me go, yeah, this, I need to get serious about this. I need to quit playing games. Excuse me, folks. Yes, a bottle of water. I did not make coffee this morning because I did not feel like coffee, because sometimes coffee and I do not agree. And I have to be at work from 4 p.m. to 9:30, depending on how long it takes us to clean the store. And if there's supposed to be 4 of us there. If there is 4 of us there, that's great, because then I can either focus on trying to clean and maintain the store, so it's easier for us to leave. But I have to be back to work Saturday morning at 10:30, and there's only going to be 3 of us, and we have a catering order, and we don't know how busy it's going to be. So tonight, while I'm at work, I want to make sure there's plenty of stuff prepped. I want to make sure there's a clean store that I walk into Saturday morning, and I have extras on things that we need for the catering order. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of prep work I'm going to be doing, and if it's not busy, I'm just going to try to get my crew, and I say my crew, but there's not really anybody officially in charge when I get there, but I'm going to try to get everybody who works with me to pitch in on cleaning and prepping and just maintaining a supplied clean store. Now, what's kind of amazing to me is she has me coming in to close. Normally Tuesday and Friday, I'm there in the morning time to basically help unload truck, because there are delivery days. So it was kind of like, oh, why are you putting me on at nights? I didn't really question it. I was just kind of like in my brain going, Why'd she put me on at nights? She knows today's truck, but I am trying to roll with the punches. That's an update from yesterday. Life update. Things are a little rocky still because of the whole family issue. Dre is having her good days. She's having her bad days, which is fine because she's going through a lot. For me, it's just trying to focus on getting what I tried to start before the whole incident back on track. Last night we had and I have a video I have to try to put together. We made pork tenderloin with, I can't remember the name of the cheese. It's queso something or other. It's just a soft white cheese, with sage stuffed into pockets in the pork tenderloin, and then roasted vegetables. Roasted onion, fennel, and pear with balsamic vinegar. And arugula on the side. We didn't use fennel because I can't find fennel bulb around here. We used bok choy, which is one of the suggested substitutions for fennel. I don't know. I'm not that great on what to use in case I don't have it type thing. I rely on Jerry's knowledge or the internet or Alexa. Yes, I have a Alexa unit. It was cheap when I got it because they were offering, I don't remember the exact price, but they were offering the dot units from Amazon if you subscribe to Amazon Music or something like that. So we did it to get Alexa half price. So hey, or it was less than half price. It was a steal basically. But yeah, we got the food aspect of the changes I was trying is back on track. My positivity has been a little bit off, but between between Wednesday and Thursday and dealing with an issue that, yeah, I caused it. It was my fault. I took things the wrong way, or it's a combination of I took things the wrong way and I put it out there in the wrong way. And I apologize for it. I did a video for it. But for the most part, I've been going through a few different things besides the family issue with my brother-in-law's passing. And now I have to figure out how to either deal with it or discuss it. And it's not just a discussion for YouTube. It's a discussion between my family, my wife and my mom. Now I don't remember if the video that I made for on Thursday that I put out this morning. And I'm beginning to wonder if I should even say dates anymore because I record my videos in the morning time, and sometimes I get to put them out before I go to bed. Sometimes they don't go out until the next morning. But I put out a video for Thursday, and I don't remember if it's not that I don't remember if I put it in there, because I have a lot of things going through my head, and I put some of it out there and some of it I don't, and sometimes I forget which things I discussed the day before or the previous video. And yeah, I should probably go back and review it, but anyhow, what I was I think I talked about yesterday's video. Jenny and I, when we were coming home, we drove through the Delaware Water Gap, and then we picked up Mom and started driving home with Mom. And because of the whole time to get from Missouri to New York is 18 hours, roughly, maybe a little bit more depending on how often you stop. Maybe even a day, because like on our trip to New York, we stopped in Indianapolis and stayed in a hotel so Jerry can get some sleep, and then finished our trip the next day. But anyhow, we were talking about why don't we move to like Missouri, or not Missouri, we're in Missouri. Why don't we move to Ohio? That way we're a little closer to Jerry Ann's family. And it got some positive feedback, because my thing was, if we lived in Ohio, especially in the Akron area where my aunt and uncle live, it would be easier for my mom to get out and spend a weekend with family. And it'd only take her a few minutes to drive up a block or around the corner or whatever. And then if me and Jerry decided to take a weekend, whether it be a 2-day weekend or a 3-day weekend, it's only 8 hours to drive to her family in New York. Stay the night maybe at a hotel, spend a day, 2 days with them, and then turn around and come home. That and the factor, if we lived in Ohio, is a short distance, a good hour and a half, 2-hour drive to Amish country to go to certain stores to bulk up on bulk spices or foods or fresh produce, and that and the factor, if we moved into a place like my aunt and uncle used to live in before they had to move, it was out in the country a little bit. They had a nice plot of land. My aunt had a nice little herb garden, tomatoes, squash, produce like that. The only thing we'd have to worry about is winter times, because they're a little further north than we are on the map, not by much. But my aunt and uncle were saying that the winters had not been that bad lately. They've been about as cold and snowy as Missouri, which we don't get that cold and snowy that often, maybe once in a blue moon. But there's a lot of things put out there on our trip. Some of it had to do with the changes that we were trying to make here at the house. Some of it was moving to Ohio. Some of it was just general chit chat. But I am trying to step forward. The physical changes, or the physical aspect that I want for my changes, I haven't got started yet. I'm trying to, but I get caught up in other things. I get lost in I get lost in thought and lost in what's going on, and I end up doing other things than trying to do physical fitness. I've had people suggest various apps for at-home coaches and whatnot. Problem is, 9 times out of 10, they want you to join a monthly subscription. I don't have the financial stability right now because of all the things going on to join anything. In fact, we've had to end subscriptions with HBO Max and Amazon Music and one or two other things. I can't remember what they were off the top of my head. So we're trying to find it. It's not that we're poor. It's not that we're broke. There are certain things in our lives that we understand that we need to cut off for the time being until things become stable again. Now, that's fine, because there's a lot of things in life that are not a necessity. HBO or other forms of entertainment that cost money, they're not a necessity. Music, paying for a subscription to music when you have... I have 2 other apps on my phone that are free. They're not monthly subscriptions, and I can get my music and listen to that. That and the fact that I have iPhone. iPhone comes with iTunes or iMusic. It's a one-time fee to download certain songs. You know, you pay that one-time fee, you don't have to worry about it monthly. YouTube Music, it's pretty much free. Same with Spotify, it's pretty much free. The only thing you have to deal with is every so often, every second or third song, there's a advertisement in between the next song. And it's like, okay, it's a minor hassle. It's a minor hassle. You listen to a couple commercials, and then your music continues. Not a big deal. You know, might be a little annoying from time to time, especially when you're half asleep, and all of a sudden you get this commercial that affects that. But the third aspect of the changes that I've been trying to do, the spiritual aspect, is it's been difficult because I have personal issues with not God or Jesus or anybody like that. I have personal issues with the church. I've spent most of my life growing up abroad, basically. I've been all over the U.S. I've been to Germany. And during that whole time, up until Phoenix, we had a church to go to. When we got to Phoenix, my family, my parents, could not find a suitable church. They could not find a church that they were comfortable with. And so we stopped going to a church. Does that mean I stopped believing? No. What I have a problem right now is too many churches, too many religious groups of the Christian faith are getting too political. I don't want nothing to do with politics when it comes to the church. I don't want nothing to politics when it comes to religious studies, religious beliefs, religious practices. Here is what's going to be a shocker to a lot of people. For the last 30 years, I have gone through various studies in religion. I studied the Christian faith most of my life. I studied Mormons. I studied Catholics, Pentecostals, Presbyterians. I've even studied things like Buddhism, Mohammedanism, Confucianism, Druidism, Shamanism, and paganism. Now, what I've gained from all those different studies have caused not an interest or disinterest, but it has caused a understanding that every religion out there has gone through a dark side. Now, a lot of people might consider paganism the work of the devil. Well, no. A lot of pagans are more connected to the earth and understanding of the benefits of taking care of the earth, because our medicines, our foods, our building materials come from the earth. The fact that the earth sustains our life by giving us oxygen for the carbon monoxide that we breathe out. But the problem is we've polluted the world with fake carbons, basically greenhouse gases caused by the burning of coal and oil. And it's slowly killing the planet. It's slowly killing us, because the factor it's filling the atmosphere with so much carbon monoxide, and we cut down trees, which we need to filter the carbon monoxide, because we want to clear the land so we can build more cities and towns, instead of trying to live in the trees, instead of trying to live amongst the forests of the world. That the planet's capability to scrub out poisonous gases and give us oxygen which we need to breathe is scary. Yes, the pagans do worship gods, plural, and not just one god. But you've got to realize the pagan belief and the belief in multiple gods, such as the Norse, Native Americans, the shamans, that's been around for eons, even before Christ. Now, do I say that it's wrong for Christians to believe in one God? No. What's wrong is the factor, and you guys can look this up, it's in the Old Testament. Christians were not always gentle, calm, kind people. They went through a violent period to conquer and claim lands that their one God said was their promised land, to go and take it. So the idea of Christians saying, oh, we're not violent. No, you're not violent now. Neither are pagans. Look at the histories. Everybody from as far back as 3000 BC to almost 2000 AD. We're still a violent people. It is in our nature to be violent, but it's also in our nature to be non-violent. There are plenty of protesters out there right now protesting for Black Lives Matter or for the justice of all, that have no violence whatsoever. None whatsoever. But the problem right now is because of the fact that the government or certain states want to defund the police force. There are people out there, militias, who are going out there to do the job of the police force, but they're not always doing it by a just manner. There are plenty of groups out there that are doing it by a just manner. They're non-violent. They're trying to keep the peace. That's part of human nature. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not Christian. I'm not saying I'm pagan. I'm not saying any of that. Because what I am is basically just a person trying to live their life in a universe of confusion, disillusion, false information, negative politics, negative attitudes. The world is getting turned upside down. Literally. I've had people ask me, and I've seen the question being asked to other people via TikTok and YouTube and various media forms. Are we in the beginning or towards the end of, however you want to put it, the end times, Ragnarok, whatever? I say yes. I think we're in the middle of it. Because, I mean, if you were to read Revelations, or if you were to read the various Nordic mythology on what Ragnarok is supposed to be like, rampant disease, injustice, and discord, and whatever you want to call it by human standards, nature, the increased wildfires, the increased earthquakes, the increased intensity of earthquakes, tornadoes, hurricanes, natural disasters of one form or another. Yeah, we're either in the middle of it, or we're in the first stages of the end times. Am I going to freak out and go run around being a doomsayer? No. You know why? There's nothing. If it's going to happen, if it's meant to happen, there is virtually nothing we can do to prevent it. All we can do is gather up our strength, be mindful, be watchful, be prepared for whatever. We can't sit in a corner and hide. That's cowardice. That's foolhardy, because that's not going to help nothing. The only thing that's going to help is if we are band together as a human race under one judicial system where all lives matter, where everybody matters, where those who do wrong are punished properly. Keep our eyes on the horizon, be ready for whatever comes our way, and just deal with it the best we can. Now, I know there's a lot of people who want to panic over the factor that this could happen, that any moment we can wake up to an earthquake, or any moment we can wake up to a siren because of tornadoes or tsunamis, or heck, there's been so many hurricanes this year that they're going into the Greek alphabet. They're no longer using names. The system they use where every hurricane has a name starting with whatever letter in the alphabet that comes along. They've gotten past that. They've gotten into the Greek letters. That's freaky, to have so many hurricanes that you're no longer using the standard naming process, that you're using Greek terminology, Greek names. In my 48, almost 49 years of life, I don't even remember if that's ever happened before. That, in fact, in my 15 years of Earth watching and Earth studies, I have not seen earthquakes in the 6+ magnitude along the fault line that wraps around Africa. And according to scientists, Africa is a key continent. What I mean by key continent is, according to all their studies, Africa has never shifted its location. It's always been in the same location. When Pangea, if science is correct and whatnot, when Pangea was one supercontinent and it started breaking apart and separating into our current geolocated continents, Africa was the only one that never shifted. Never, ever, ever shifted. But it's starting to have earthquakes along its fault line of 6.4 plus in the last 2 weeks. That has my nerves on, not nerves on it. It has my eye focused on what's going on because of that alone when it comes to geo-relocation of the planets, continents, land masses. Now, what that means, it could mean polar shifts, it could mean continental shifts, it could mean a lot of different things. I'm not a big person on watching the sun because of the fact that it hurts my eyes. But scientists say our sun is going into a dormant period, which is going to cause or can cause another, what do they call it? Not a full-blown ice age that basically froze mastodons in the ice and whatnot, or day after tomorrow type scenario. But because of the fact that the sun is going into a dormant period, it is going to cause a minor ice age. It's going to cause our planet to get colder. It's probably what's causing all the different freaking things between the earthquakes and the hurricanes and the tornadoes and the wildfires and all that natural disaster type stuff. But scientists did at one point in time say that our sun could die out within a couple million years. And I'm like, well, I'm not too worried about that because I'm not going to be around for that. But still, having the sun do a dormant period at this point, at this stage in evolution or whatever you want to call it, makes me go, okay, the sun does have effect on the planet's temperature, on the planet's gravitational fields, on the planet's core, basically, which is what causes planetary shift, basically. But it also causes things that we don't think about, like people's attitudes, people's health, things of that nature. Nobody studies this. Nobody realizes this. But there are studies that factor that the solar energy that we get from the sun, which is going to decrease, does affect people. The reason why I can say this is my aunt. She has what they call winter blues. Basically what that is if she has to deal with more than a couple days of gloomy, no bright sunlight type issues, she gets a form of depression that can be problematic. So the doctor that she was seeing at the time she found out about this suggested to get one of those UV lights to basically, during the winter time, sit under for a short period of time. For I don't remember if it was a short period of time or for a what, but it helps her. It affects her in some way. I don't know. Now I can understand this because look at Alaska. I'm going to use Alaska for an example because Alaska has the highest, I do mean the highest, suicide rate in the nation. Why? You try living in a state where you have 6 months of sunlight and then 6 months of darkness. 6 months of no sunlight can affect people in a very negative way because they either become suicidal or homicidal, according to certain statistics. Now, I can say yes because I'm a night person. I prefer the nighttime. I don't like bright light. And what I mean by this is when I lived in Arizona, I did not like summertime. It was too bright. It was too hot. It made me feel miserable. Mostly because of the heat and the brightness of the sun. So during the summertime, I spent most of my time indoors in my room, shutters, blinds, whatever I had over my windows, closed to make it as, I don't want to say as dark as possible, but I was going through a phase during my teens. and my room itself was pretty dark. It was like midnight blue carpeting with, not really midnight blue wall painting, but a dark blue. And the reason why it was dark blue is because the color I wanted my walls to be was not exactly accessible and would have cost too much. But, oh, that's right, I did midnight blue carpets with forest brown or forest green, like almost a hunter green wall. I tried to make my room into a forest motif. Even though the carpeting wasn't brown like a forest floor, it was midnight blue because it was supposed to reflect not the forest floor, but the night sky. In fact, I think I even bought a nice round white, almost pale white moon-shaped carpet to throw down on my by my desk, because I want it to be like the reverse of somebody looking down from the sky, or looking up, like instead of them looking up and seeing, or looking down seeing a brown floor, I was looking up seeing the midnight sky is what I wanted it to be. But anyhow, this video has gotten long. Life is changing. We're changing. Now, whether we're changing for an unhealthy lifestyle or a healthy lifestyle, that's up to each individual person. In fact, each individual person has the choice to either follow the madness that's going on around us, or to create their own calm. And it's kind of hard sometimes, because the reason why human beings can relate closer to a pack of wolves, let's say, is because humans have a pack mentality. Very few human beings have an individual solidarity type attitude, unless something has gone really, really wrong and they're just really, really not wanting to deal with people. Which, if you've ever watched videos or documentaries on wolves, the pack mentality, there is a hierarchy, the alpha. And the rest of the pack does not do anything as a group without the alpha. Now, there are times where the pack will go off for a hunt and follow the alpha male and female, while a beta, or even is it a beta? Or an omega? One of the lower ranking wolves will stay behind to watch the den site because there's pups. Now, if there's no pups, the whole pack goes off for the hunt. That's what's happening with America, or not just America, but the world in general. We're looking towards our alpha, which is supposed to be our president. Unfortunately, I'd rather there be a lone wolf than follow our current president, because I'm not talking about his position as president. I'm talking about him as a person. I respect the flag. I respect the office of the president. I am not exactly happy with our current president. But because of the factor, he's leading us in a bad direction. And there's groups of people who are forming their own packs and deciding what they're going to do to either rectify the situation, call for justice, call for unity. America is a melting pot of every possible creed, culture, religion, color, family background, I mean, I'm a mutt. I'll tell you this right now. I'm a mutt. I might be one of the whitest people you see. I don't act like it. You know why? One, the military upbringing I had taught me that everybody, it don't matter skin tone, your religion, your family dynamics. It don't matter what your background is. Everybody is equal. There is no separation by skin in the religion, or not religion, in the military. There is no separation of skin in a good, true, believing religion. Okay, it don't matter if you're from the South, the Northwest, Northeast, Southwest, central part of America. It don't matter where you're from or where you live in this country. We are all equal. Okay? Don't think otherwise. If you think otherwise, you're an idiot. Okay? If you think we're not equal because of our skin colors, go away. I really don't want to deal with you because you're just being a fool. Second reason why is because the factor it don't matter what skin color we are. When we die, we're dead and gone, and our body decays down to a skeletal remain. They couldn't tell what skin color you were unless they did some sort of DNA tests. And even that, the DNA test might even not tell them that you were black, white, yellow, green, whatever your skin color was. Okay? In the beginning, when we're born, you can take a bunch of newborns and put them in the same pen, basically. They're not going to care about the factor that, hey, that little guy is different skin color than I am, because that racist bullshit, it develops because of the way the person is raised, and it can be changed back to a non-judgmental over skin tone type issue. Okay, that stuff is bred into you. It's not born into you. You're not born racist. Okay, no. But I say I'm a mutt because of the factor. Thanks to Ancestry.com and the continued upgrading of their information, I have learned that I'm Scots, Irish, British, German, Icelandic, Scandinavian, Norwegian. I'm a mixed bag of nuts, okay? I even saw that in my DNA there's possibility of French. And I chalked it up to one group of people. The Norsemen. You might want to call them Viking. That's fine. The Norsemen. The reason why I say that is because the fact that the Norsemen were the first people to explore beyond their coastline. Because for centuries, people were afraid to set sail on the open ocean. Well, if it wasn't for the Norsemen, they would not have settled in Iceland. And Iceland is 99.9% Norse people. Because Iceland was a unexplored, uninhabited continent, or not continent, country, landmass. So, and that's who I am. I'm learning about myself. I'm discovering things about my possible ancestry. I'm learning things that most people don't even want to try to learn about, because so many people become so focused. I don't want to say self-centered because that's wrong. They become so blinded because they're so focused on one particular thing. Now, a lot of my family, and this is mostly my dad's side of the family, are Catholic. My in-laws are primarily Catholic. A lot of them don't want to know or explore or do any kind of research on anything outside of what they were raised to believe in. My wife, love her to pieces. She allows me to do this exploration because we understand one particular thing. No matter what my exploration or my current beliefs are, I was born and raised. My feet are firmly planted in Christian soil. Does that mean I can't look or explore or learn about other things? No. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, if you're not willing to explore and learn other things, you're closed-minded. And if you're closed-minded and don't want to listen to somebody who's been where you are and left that little box that you're in, that's your problem. That's not mine. If you want to learn things from me, that's fine. I'm not an expert. I'm not a professor. I don't have a degree on theology or any of that stuff. What I have is an open mind, willing to learn, willing to listen. Whether I follow it or not, that's on me. What I do follow, though, is a strong belief that no matter what your background is, whether your religious background, your family background, your ancestral background, your skin tone, your whatever, I don't care about any of the visual, physical aspects of who you are. You can look at me and go, "Oh, you're white. You're privileged because I'm not white." Whatever. No. I learned from the military. Don't matter. You're my equal. The only time you become not my equal or my lesser, or I don't consider anybody my greater, unless you're, well, I do consider some people my greater, but I don't come to you in a negative or racial or high mighty type attitude. You have information I might not. You want to share it? That's fine, Danny. I'm willing to learn. But the thing is, learning is a two-way street. If you're not going to try to learn something from me, why should I turn around and try to learn something from you? It don't make no sense. Because what that does, it makes me feel like you're trying to be superior. Because of the fact that you are acting like you know it all. Because of the fact that you don't want to learn something from me. That's not going to work. I'm not going to deal with that. Anyhow, I've gone on way too far. Or not too far, too long. So that's my video for today. That's my thoughts of the day. That's my feelings of the day or the moment, because my feelings have been changing quite rapidly lately due to depression. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, maybe some good comments, go ahead and put them in the comment box. I'll get to them as soon as I can. If you're new to my video, go ahead and tap on that bell. YouTube will put a little bell up, and you can tap on the bell, and YouTube will let you know when I put in a new video. Until next time, have a good day. God bless. Enjoy. Bye.